I'll be making use of this. I'll also put the LEDC in water. Alright, now we're going to prepare and cook the mushrooms right here. Since I have boiling water readily available here, I'll use the blanching method for the mushrooms. I understand I've been focusing primarily on blanching, but next time I'll be sure to demonstrate and introduce a variety of other techniques, such as lightly grilling them and then adding a cheese coating, or applying a herb coating, or even creating a different kind of crust for your garnish to enhance the presentation. In boiling water, put the mushrooms in. Afterward, we cool them down in cold water immediately. Next, we'll need to completely remove all of the excess moisture, won't we? So we'll lay down a paper towel. Remove excess water from them. So, the soup we're preparing today is quite straightforward, making it something I truly hope all of you will be able to easily try making right in your own homes. So, for today's assignment, how about you try making this homemade consommé yourself at home? Before you all come to try this with me later, I think it would be even better if you practice it at home first and then come to the class prepared. That way, you'll be more ready. You don't have to submit it, but you must write in your practice journal. When you write in your practice journal, it's essential that you record your assessment or review of the mushroom consommé soup you prepared at home. So, in your practice journals for this session, it would be greatly appreciated if you could jot down your impressions and feelings about what you've created. You don't necessarily have to include photographs, but your written reflections would be much obliged. Alright, I've got some shallots here, ready to be used as a garnish. We'll be using these shallots. Let's proceed with preparing another garnish. I have a shallot here that looks like this, and we will be utilizing a chopping technique to prepare it, specifically for the purpose of chopping. We'll use the chopped shallots to put on top of the mushrooms. Instead of simply using the mushrooms as they are, we're going to give them a quick sauté first to properly prepare them for our dish. It's all ready now. Alright, next I'll go to this side and we'll be able to make it. I'll turn on the gas burner and heat up the pan for cooking. Once the pan is hot, I will then proceed to sauté the onions. Of course, I've got some cooking oil prepared right here so that I can add it to the pan. So, after the pan is properly heated. As I mentioned, add the oil after the pan is hot, so add the oil and these here. Let's take a look at the shallot. As the shallots cook, their color gets more vibrant. Please remember that we're using shallots that have become more vibrant, and also that we're using cooked shallots. Keep that in mind. So, today we covered two ways to use the garnish, one by blanching and the other by stir-frying it like this. Additionally, we utilized a flash to create a ring shape, bringing the total to 3 methods. I'll be sure to provide further explanations as I proceed with the plating shortly. Like this. I've gone ahead with the shallot. Now that the moisture has been removed from the mushrooms, let's take a look. Alright, now I will also prepare the herbs we'll be using today to incorporate into our dish. Remove the moisture before using. I have a paper towel ready here. I'll lay out the paper towel for what we'll use today. I'll prepare it like this. And also according to your own taste and preference. For today, I'll be preparing with yellow pansies. Next up, the celery that we peeled with the ring earlier has now taken on this specific shape, as you can see. The carrot hasn't quite taken its shape yet. It appears a bit too thick, so I'll go ahead and artificially shape it just a little. If it doesn't take on the desired shape as I showed you, you can simply blanch it briefly in boiling water. For the purpose of plating, I'm going to bring some water to a boil and then just lightly blanch it. Because this carrot right here is currently a little too thick and hasn't yet taken on the shape I want, I'm going to briefly blanch it in boiling water and then proceed to mold it exactly into my desired form. And if you look closely at the celery here, it's been shaped like this. We also have this particular shape available. Shall we take a closer look? There's also this style with both of the ends curled up. The celery turned out very naturally. Later on, you should consider for yourselves which pieces you'd prefer to use and also observe what would best suit the plate. I personally find this one a bit too thick, so I want to use it, but it's a little too big, so I'll just trim it down a bit. So that I can use it. And over here the celery is also completely prepared and ready for use. It's holding its shape like this. Next, the water is boiling. Now for the carrots. We're going to blanch them lightly. Lightly blanch the noodles. And get them ready. For this as well, I will swiftly submerge it in cold water to bring down its temperature and then proceed to meticulously sculpt its desired form. I have lightly blanched and prepared it in this manner. Now I am going to proceed with. Even if you roll it to shape it, it will hold its form like this. I've also gone ahead and prepared some carrots for us. So all the preparations are now complete and I will proceed to plate the mushroom consommé. Always ensure your plates are immaculately clean and prepared. When preparing this for display, the best method is to first add gelatin to the consommé, let it solidify, and then create the desired shapes. I'm going to put this on top. I'll gently pour a little consommé like this, just about this much. Next, the star of today's dish. I'll place the main ingredient right in the center. After placing it on, I will then also add the garnish. Alright, first off, as our mushrooms are now included, one has plumped right into the liquid. So I will carefully place these mushrooms in here, and then we will prepare the enoki mushrooms next, getting them ready to add. I'll add another one like so. Then, since we have this one that's shaped like a half, I'll put the half-shaped piece together with the others. You can simply arrange it naturally. And after that, I'm going to add a tomato slice here, like so. There's a circle nestled within this oval, and with the food artfully arranged inside, it truly enhances its natural presentation. Now, I'll proceed to add a few more of the mushrooms that are already within the dish. Okay, let's finish the plating. And over here, the enoki mushrooms that I cut. I'll arrange the enoki mushrooms on top as well to naturally continue our presentation. So after doing this, we still have one ingredient left that we haven't utilized yet, and that is the shallots. I'll place these shallots on top of the mushroom consomme. We want to form a beautiful shape. And on top of that, we'll now use the fresh vegetables we prepared to give it a similar shape and further enhance the presentation. Celery. Carrots on this side. I get it this way again, just like this, and then we'll add the herbs. I'll carefully place them. And then, the berries might be a bit too complicated, wouldn't you say? I'll just finish it up like this, and I'll also place a yellow pansy on top to complete the dish. Alright, the mushroom consomme is now perfectly complete. As I was arranging the plating, the ingredients inside got a bit messy. I hope you'll keep in mind that this is just one of the ways you can present your mushroom consomme. Presently, there is a circular shape positioned within an oval, and inside it the food is centrally arranged with the soup already poured into the dish. Of course, the sizes of the pieces here are quite large, so the current presentation may appear a little bit complex. However, if you arrange the inner shapes more organically or present them artistically, you will be able to create a much more beautiful finished dish. Alright, now let's take a closer look at the completed creation. I'll give it a slight turn. So, which side is the front? Exactly. The section you're viewing at this very moment is indeed the front. I've utilized the plate to fashion a perfect circle nestled within an oval shape, and within that, these elongated forms stand tall, and beyond those, they collectively delineate yet another circular form. The oval, the circle, and your various rectangular shapes, along with different garnishes, are once again forming a nice circle. Therefore, various shapes and various forms are included and presented together here. This time, the main point for you to observe is that I didn't divide the plate, but rather gathered everything centrally. Well, this brings us to the end of the process for preparing the mushroom consomme. You've all worked very hard today.